morning students. Today we will discuss about the capacitors. First, what is the definition of capacitors? Capacitor is a device made of conductor or set of conductors insulately separated from each other and surrounding and can store charge under a potential difference. So generally capacitor is a device that is generally made up of conductor or set of conductors, 2 conductors, 3 conductors, 4 conductors, and they are separated from each other by insulators. And it also stores the charge, that is known as the capacitor. Then the law of capacitor. Law of capacitor. What is the law? Law of capacitor means the amount of charge Q. The charge is denoted by small q. Stored in any capacitor is directly proportional to the potential difference of the capacitor or between the conductor. Potential difference is denoted by V. Charge is denoted by small q. That charge is proportional to the potential difference of the capacitors. So mathematically it can be written as Q directly proportional to V or Q is equal to Cv. Whenever some physical quantity is proportional to another physical quantity, then there is when I will write in place of proportional equal, then I have to write a proportionality constant known as the capacitance. Here the proportionality constant C is the proportionality constant known as the capacitance of the capacitor. Capacitance means storing capacity of charge. How much charge it can store known as the capacitance. So now C is known as the capacitance of the capacitor. Then on which factors a capacitor depends, or the capacitance of a capacitor depends upon the 3 different factors. One is your shape of the capacitor, what is the shape. Second is your size of the capacitor, Third is your nature of the insulating medium that is placed inside the capacitor. What is the medium or what is the insulator that is used inside the capacitor known as the medium. Then nature of the medium, nature of the insulating medium, also the capacitance depends upon the nature. Remember the 3 factors if the question arises here, on which factor the capacitance of a capacitor depends. The capacitance of a capacitor depends on the 3 different factors known as the first is your shape of the capacitor, size of the capacitor, third is your nature of the insulating medium that is kept inside the conductor or capacitor. Then now from equation 1, here equation 1 this is Q is equal to Cv. If I will find out C is equal to Q by V. Q is the charge, V is the potential difference. Now what is its SI unit? What is its type of quantity? Then as charge is a scalar quantity, potential is also a scalar quantity, therefore capacitance is a scalar quantity. Next, what is the SI unit of capacitance? The SI unit of charge is coulomb, SI unit of potential difference is volt, therefore its SI unit is coulomb per volt, or that is also known as farad, F-A-R-A-D, or denoted by capital F. Means mathematically 1 farad is equal to 1 coulomb by 1 volt. Therefore the capacitance can be defined as the amount of charge per unit potential difference, or 1 farad can be defined as when there is a charge of 1 coulomb, amount of charge 1 coulomb stored inside a capacitor having the potential difference between the terminals of the capacitor is 1 volt, then the capacitance is said to be 1 farad. Means inside the capacitor, the potential difference between the terminal is 1 volt and it stores a charge of 1 coulomb. then the capacitance or capacity of amount of storing charge is known as the 1 farad. Now, what is its dimensional formula of capacitance? Then the dimensional formula as charge, the dimensional formula of charge is 80. What is the dimensional formula of potential difference? What potential difference is M1, N2, T minus 3, A minus 1. Now, this will is by solving this, I will get M minus 1, L minus 2, T minus 3 plus 1, T4, A minus 1 plus 1, that is 1 plus 1, 2, A2. The dimensional formula of capacitance is M minus 1, L minus 2, T4, A2. This is the dimensional formula of capacitance. Next part is what is the types of capacitor. Generally a capacitor is three types. One is your parallel plate capacitor, second is your spherical capacitor, third is your cylindrical capacitor. Now we will discuss one by one. First we will discuss the parallel capacitor. Then the types of capacitor. The capacitors are of three types. One is your parallel plate capacitor, second is your spherical capacitor, third is your cylindrical capacitor. Parallel plate capacitors means two plates, that is plate A, plate that is plate B, that separated certain distance, and that separation between them is insulated by some insulating medium. This is known as the parallel plate capacitor. The second type is your spherical capacitor. Spherical capacitor, this is sphere. Let this having radius small r. If this is the spherical capacitor having two spheres separated certain insulating medium. Let this is a sphere having radius small r, and this is another sphere having radius capital R. Then they are separated small distance separation, and the insulating medium is kept inside the two plates. This is known as the parallel plate. In spherical capacitor, in these capacitors, this plate is act as positive, this is act as negative. Third type is your cylindrical capacitors. In cylindrical capacitors, the shape is cylindrical shape, and this is one cylinder, and this is also there is another cylinder, and between the two cylinder gap there is an insulating medium. Then this is known as the cylindrical capacitors. Just like this, having two radius also. And if the length of the cylinder is L, the inner cylinder, this is interior cylinder, this is external cylinder. The internal cylinder having radius small r, and the external cylinder having radius capital R. Then this, and remember one thing, always in between the two plates, this is one plate, another plate. Here also this is one plate, another plate. Here also this is one plate, A plate, B plate. They are separated, so small separation, and the medium kept between them is insulator or insulating medium. Then there are three different types of capacitors. Now we will calculate the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor. Parallel plate capacitor, the medium depends upon the capacitance, depends upon the medium placed in between the two parallel plates. If the medium is vacuum, means it is one type of insulator, then what is its capacitance? In place of vacuum, if a medium is placed or insulating medium is placed, then having permittivity epsilon, then what is its capacitance? We will derive an expression for this. Here I have written capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor. The capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor means, I have drawn a diagram here. These are two plates, plate A, plate B. Plate A is positively charged, plus Q. Plate B is negatively charged, minus Q. And the separation between them is small d. This is the separation between them. And each plate having certain area of cross section, let that is capital A. A is the area of cross section. 2. You can take also this is plate P, this is plate capital Q. Because area is also there, capital A, I have taken A. Therefore, you can take two plates, capital P, capital Q. P is positively charged, plus Q. Q is negatively charged, minus Q. And the separation gap between them is D. And the medium is in between them is a vacuum having the permittivity epsilon naught. Therefore, here is a battery potential difference, capital B is connected. Third, according to the definition of capacitance, C is equal to Q by B. Now we will calculate the capacitance of this parallel plate capacitor. So as E is equal to electric field, as it is positive charge, it is negative charge. Therefore, the direction of electric field is from positive to negative in this direction. Sigma is the charge density, means charge per unit area. Area A means the area of cross section of each plate. Let that is taken by me, capital A. Q is the magnitude of charge, this is positive Q, this is negative Q. Now the charge density is Q by A, and therefore the electric field intensity is sigma or charge density for permittivity of the vacuum epsilon naught. Next, the derivation of capacitance of parallel plate capacitor. This is a parallel plate capacitor having two plates P and Q separated some distance D, having charge plus Q and minus Q and a potential difference V. Here electric field direction from P to Q. As discussed above, E is equal to charge density by epsilon naught or permittivity, where charge density is equal to Q by A. This is equation 1. Now, by the law of capacitor, what is the law of capacitor? Q directly proportional to V or Q is equal to Cp. From this formula, Q is equal to Cp, that is equation 2. Now the relation between the electric field intensity and the potential gradient, that is dV by dr, in magnitude form is equal to E is equal to dV by dr. dV by dr is the potential gradient, E is the electric field intensity in magnitude form. As the field is uniform, because two plates are same area and same distance and same charge between the plates. Therefore, E is equal to how much? What is the separation D? What is the potential difference V? Therefore, E is equal to V by D. This is equation 3. This is third equation, this is second equation, this is first equation. Now from equation 1, this equation and equation 2. From equation 1 and equation 3. Equation 2 is Q is equal to Cp. From these two equations 1 and 3, I have written here from equation 1 and equation 3. What is E is equal to charge density by permittivity of a vacuum, and here E is equal to V by D. Therefore, I can write also V by D equal to charge density by permittivity. That is V by D is equal to charge density by permittivity of vacuum. Or from this equation, I can calculate the value of V is equal to charge density into D, divided by permittivity of vacuum. Or I can replace charge density. Here I have written where charge density is equal to Q by A. Therefore, I will put the value of charge density, that is Q by A, and another D by permittivity, that is constant. D by permittivity, that is the remaining part. So now, since from the law of capacitor, C is equal to Q by B, I have to calculate the capacitance of the parallel plate capacitor. Therefore, C is equal to Q by B. Now in place of V, I put this value Q D by A epsilon naught. So Q divided by QT by A epsilon naught means Q into A epsilon naught, denominator becomes numerator, divided by QT. So now becomes C is equal to Q A epsilon naught divided by QT. Here Q cancel out, remaining part A epsilon naught divided by D. This is the required expression for the capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor, where the two plates are separated by distance D. Having A is the area of cross section of each plate, and epsilon naught is the permittivity of the medium that is placed in between the two plates. Means capacitance of a parallel plate capacitor which is separated by a vacuum medium is independent of the charge. There is no charge, there is no also potential difference, but it is dependent on the D, means the distance or separation between the two plates, and A means the area of cross section of each plate, and the permittivity of the medium, means three factors: shape of the capacitor, size of the capacitor, and the nature of the medium. Nature, epsilon naught, permittivity, vacuum. That therefore the capacitance of a capacitor is dependent upon the three factors. One is your shape, size, and the nature of the medium. This is the required expression for capacitance. Next, second part is the spherical capacitor. What is the capacitance of a spherical capacitor? And in which the insulating medium is vacuum, having the permittivity epsilon naught. So I have taken here a spherical capacitor having radius capital R, and the total charge on the capacitor is plus Q. Now let the radius of the spherical capacitor is capital R, and plus Q is the total charge of the spherical capacitor. Now from the law of capacitor, Q directly proportional to V, means Q is equal to Cv, or C capacitance is equal to Q by V. This is equation 1. Remember, C is equal to Q by V. But what is the formula of potential difference for this? Is radius R, charge is Q. What is the potential of the spherical charge body? That is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by separation of distance, means R. This is the formula of the potential of the spherical body having radius R. This is equation 2 and this is equation 1. Now from 1 and 2, in 1 I will take V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. Then what becomes equation 1 becomes, now from equation and equation 2, what is C is equal to Q divided by V. V is equal to what? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. Q cancel out. That becomes 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 1 by R, means 4 pi epsilon naught R. That is the capacitance of the spherical capacitor having radius R. Where epsilon naught is the permittivity of the insulating medium, means here also the capacitance is independent of the charge, independent of the potential difference. But what is, on which factor it is dependent? On the radius, means shape and size of the capacitor. On the permittivity of the medium, means nature of the medium. This is the factor, or this is the required expression for the capacitance of the spherical capacitor, and its unit is farad. Okay, next part is the energy stored in a capacitor. How much energy is stored between the two plates of a capacitor? If having charge plus Q and potential difference V. Generally, a capacitor is denoted by, in this symbol, this is two plates, this symbol two plates. One is your positive plate, another is your negative plate, and this is the two terminals. This is the capacitor circuit symbol having capacitance C. So let here I have taken a capacitor having charge Q, means one plate is the positive plate, another is the negatively charged plate, and separation between them certain medium, and having the potential difference is V. Then here during charging of the capacitor, both the charge stored and potential difference V keeps on increasing till the capacitor is fully charged. I will increase the potential difference till the capacitor is fully charged. Now, according to the law of capacitor, Q is equal to Cp. For small potential difference, small charge is stored, that is dq is equal to Cdp, because capacitance is a constant. As small work done, W is equal to actually how much? QB. So if charge is small, then small work will be done, that is dW is equal to V dq. Now here dq is equal to Cdp, but here dW is equal to V dq. Therefore dW can be written as V in place of dq Cdp, that is dW is equal to Cp dp. Means small work done when there is a small potential difference dp. Now I have to find out the total work done, means how much energy. The integrating both sides, when the potential difference is 0, then the work done is also 0. Finally, the potential is increasing till the capacitor is fully charged, means having the potential difference V, then at the last time the total work done is W. Means integrating the dW from 0 to W, the integrating Cp from 0 to V. Now the integration of dW is equal to W from lower limit 0 to upper limit W in W minus 0, that is equal to W. C is a constant. Integrating constant means constant outside. V, what is the power of V? That is 1. V dp, according to the formula of integration, x to the power n dx integrating is equal to x to the power n plus 1 by n plus 1. Here similarly, V to the power 1 dp means integrating V to the power 1 plus 1, that is equal to V square by 1 plus 1, that is 2. Means from lower limit to upper limit 0 to V. Now I will get W is equal to C whole into V to the power 2 by 2 from 0 to V. Then W is equal to C. Now in place of V I will put first upper limit, then in place of V I will put first, then second lower limit. Lower limit is 0. 0 square means 0. Now W is equal to C V square by 2 minus 0 square by 2 definite integration. The W is equal to this part will become 0. Now W is equal to C V square by 2, or it can be written as half Cp square. This is first formula of energy stored in a capacitor, that is half Cp square in the form of capacitance and potential difference. Now as C is equal to how much? Q by V. So now in equation A, I can replace the capacitance C in the form of charge and potential difference, means W is equal to half, in place of C I can write Q by V into V square. Now 1 V cancel out, the remaining part is W is equal to half Q into V. This is the second part or second formula of the energy stored in capacitor in the form of charge and potential difference. Next, in the form of charge and capacitance, what? As V is equal to Q by C. Now I will take the value of V in the form of charge and capacitance in equation A. Look at this. W is equal to half C into, in place of V, Q by C. Q by C square means Q square by C square. 1 C cancel out, the remaining part is W is equal to half Q square by C. This is the third formula or third part of the energy stored in capacitor in the form of charge and capacitance. This is in the form of capacitance potential, in the form of charge and potential. This is the required expression for the energy stored in capacitor. Then the combination of capacitors. Combination of capacitors means the capacitors are connected or combined to increase or decrease the total capacitance of the capacitor. Now there are generally two types of combination. One is your series combination, next is your parallel combination. First is your series combination. Series combination, what is the definition of series combination? Series combination definition is defined that the capacitors are said to be connected in series if the negative terminal of one capacitor is connected to the positive terminal of another capacitor, and so on. The negative terminal of one capacitor is connected to the positive terminal of another capacitor, and so on. Then the combination is known as the series combination. Means capacitors are connected in series. Like this, here one is capacitor, another capacitor. This capacitor having capacitance C1, this capacitor having capacitance 2, here having potential difference V1, and they are whole totally connected by the potential difference V. So generally in series combination what happens? The charge remains same and the potential difference is different. Let here potential difference of the battery is V. Then as the potential difference is different because the terminal is different. Therefore, the potential difference of capacitor 1 is V1. The potential difference of the capacitor 2 is V2. And charge are same. Here are charge plus Q minus 2, plus Q minus 2. Therefore, according to the law of capacitor, C is equal to Q by V. So remember in series combination when you are calculating the capacitance or equivalent capacitance, then the different part, which is difference? Either potential difference or charge. Which is different, that you have to calculate. As in series combination potential difference is different, therefore I can calculate the first potential difference. Means for first capacitor having capacitance C1, potential difference V1, charge is Q, therefore C1 is equal to Q by V1, or V1 is equal to Q by C1. V1 is equal to Q by C1, that is equation 1. Next part, for capacitor 2, C2 is equal to Q by V2, or V2 is equal to Q by C2. This is equation 2, this is equation 1. For equivalent capacitor, this is the equivalent capacitor, means after combining the two capacitor in series combination, the total effective or net or equivalent capacitance becomes, I have taken here CS. What is the value of CS? I have to calculate. So now I have taken the CS. CS is the equivalent capacitance or net capacitance or total capacitance of the series combination is equal to Q by V. Total charge is Q, potential difference is V, or V is equal to Q by CS, equation 1. So now as the total potential difference V is equal to V1 plus V2, now I have taken V is equal to V1 plus V2, means in place of V I have taken here Q by CS, that is equal to V1 Q by C1 plus in place of V2 Q by C2, that is Q cancel out, 1 by CS is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2. Now if I solve this, then I will find out the value of CS is equal to C1 C2 by C1 plus C2. This is the required expression for the equivalent capacitance or net capacitance of the capacitors that are connected in series combination. This is the reciprocal, means the capacitance decreases when they are connected in series. Means the total, when n number of capacitors are connected in series having equal capacitance C, means then in place of 1 by CS, 1 by C plus 1 by C plus 1 by n times, or 1 by CS that is equal to n by C, or CS is equal to C by n. Means the capacitance in equivalent combination or in series combination, the equivalent capacitance decreases by n times. This is the required expression. Next combination is parallel combination. Parallel combination means here I have taken two capacitors having capacitance C1 and C2. They are said to be connected in parallel combination if the positive terminal of two capacitors are connected to one terminal and all the negative terminal of two capacitors are connected to another terminal, then they are said to be in parallel combination. In parallel combination, the charge is conserved. Means here charge remain different because having the potential difference A and B, terminal having same terminal having the two capacitor, therefore the potential difference remains same but the charge is different. In the first capacitor I have taken charge Q1, for the second capacitor having charge Q2. This is positive plate, this is negative plate, this is positive plate, this is negative plate. So by the conservation of charge, total charge how much? Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2, Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2. For individual capacitors, individual means for first capacitor having capacitance C1, charge Q1, potential difference is V. Now C1 is equal to Q1 by V or Q1 is equal to by cross multiplication C1 V. For second capacitor having capacitance C2, charge Q2, potential difference V. C2 is equal to Q2 by V or Q2 is equal to C2 into V. This is for first capacitor, for second capacitor. Now for equivalent or effective or total capacitance in parallel combination of two capacitors having capacitance C1 and C2, I have drawn here having let it denoted by Cp. P for parallel, C is the capacitance. Cp means parallel capacitor or effective capacitance or net capacitance or equivalent capacitance of the parallel combination. For this capacitor, Cp is equal to total charge is Q having total potential difference is V. So Cp is equal to Q by V or Q is equal to Cp V. So now I will put the value of Q1 and Q2 in equation 1. Now Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2 means from equation 1 in place of Q I have taken CPV, Cp into V equal to in place of Q1 that is equal to C1V, C1V plus in place of Q2 that is equal to C2V plus C2V. I have taken common V, then cancel out V both sides, remaining part is Cp is equal to C1 plus C2 means the total or effective or net capacitance increases in parallel combination. For n capacitors having equal capacitance C, let n capacitors are connected in parallel combinations having each capacitor equal capacitance C, then what is the equivalent capacitance of the parallel combination? As the total capacitance algebraic sum, therefore Cp is equal to C plus C plus C n times, that means n into C. N is the number of capacitors, C is the capacitance of each capacitor.